Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It's a nice sunny midweek day. I'm getting out for a bit after work. I ain't done a video on the hardtail for a bit, and I've put something new on that I wanted to show you all. So this right here is a Rockshox Yari fork. It's an upgrade from the, I think it was the Recon Silver RL that came with the Merida Big Trail 500. The Recon Silver came with 32mm stanchions, which in all honesty not stiff enough for the sort of riding I do, whether it be trails or jumps. So I found these Yaris on eBay, lightly used, and stuck them on. Look absolutely spot on, match the bike to be fair. So this is my first ride with them. I'm going through some woodlands here on my way to a little spot I found a few weeks back, relatively big I suppose, little jump line. So I'm going to take you along with me. I thought I may as well test the forks, see what they feel like on these sort of trails. I guess give my feedback to you, show you the bike and what sort of stuff's there. I've upgraded to 160mm of travel now, as opposed to the Recon Silvers that were 140. See if I can notice that bit more of travel. Let you know what it feels like. Straight away these feel awesome. They're so plush. The 35mm makes all the difference. Plowing through roots. So much better. A couple of cornfields to cut across and we'll be there. I absolutely love having a hardtail for times like this where it's about 10 kilometers from my house. You get to ride through the most beautiful scenery and the climbs or even the straights are just more easier than a full suspension. I think it's a necessity to have a hardtail in your arsenal as well as a full suspension if you've got the funds for it, but I don't think I could look back now. The Yari's 160mm of travel, which is 20mm more than the 140 Recon Silvers that were on there before. Makes it into a lot more of a hardcore hardtail now, I think. A lot stiffer. The 35mm stanchions definitely make a difference. Anyway, what we're here for is this, and a couple more down there. So, I found these a few weeks ago. Looks like they've been raked out since winter. The line doesn't look bad at the minute. Not very well used, but got a bit of wheeze on the top of the landings and whatnot. I'm going to challenge myself to hit the line, see what the forks are saying. But before I do that, I'll give you a little track walk. So, although very overgrown, this is where I start. The trail goes on from here. The first jump's about 20 meters down. So the first jump is here, which is a little kicker into the first bigger jump there. Just sort of lets you control your speed really, coming in from over there. Just a little jump really, maybe a meter. This has been nicely raked out really. And this goes into the first jump, which is not terribly steep, but hips over slightly to the left. It's quite a good landing on it, although overgrown, it's still very well compacted. Probably 2 or 3 meters anyway. Looks very flowy. I can't wait to hit that. It comes down now. Again, nicely raked out into a roller to control your speed, no doubt, into one of the biggest jumps here out of the line, which in all fairness, when I first looked at it, looks fairly daunting from here really. The landing's built up vertically, so there's no chance of a case. I wouldn't really like to think of the consequences for that. Like I say, probably about 5-6 meters maybe. The takeoff isn't that steep, it's probably more of a longer jump where you're carrying your speed. The landing is quite overgrown, but in all fairness, not too bad. After the landing of the bigger jump, we come round to quite a nice steep berm round here, along with another one here which has been built perfectly. You can either ride shallow or steep around there. Final corners here, not as steep as I'd like it to be because it goes off into a 3 meter sort of step down now and then goes all the way up to a nice little hip step up. I've ridden this just now to get a speed check and that berm isn't very grippy, especially when you need to get off this into this and carry your speed into the step up. The step up is nicely cut in here and comes quite steeply over there. As I say, in the middle of the line, not too overgrown. The landing's fairly, but still rideable. I don't know who's built the jumps, but I can't wait to give them a go, see what the fork feels like. So that's the big line. This is the step up, the final step up. Just goes in and back round to one of the footpaths that I found it off there. So I think I'll give it a first run, and then if I can get the full thing, I'll put my GoPro down and get some third-person shots. See what the bike's looking like. Here we go. All right then. First run. I'll try and get the line ticked off, to be fair. Quite nervous actually, but in the Yaris we trust. Right, let's get on the pedals. Oh my god, them berms are tight. This is the step down. Oh wow. Can't believe I got that first go actually. Quite nerve-wracking. The bike feels unreal, to be fair. The forks absorb the landings of the jump spot on. Honestly feels like my full suspension on the front end, which Fox 36 is 160mm as well. Can't say anything bad. Obviously I'll get some third-person views now. You can see what the bike's looking like, you can see what the jumps are like from an external perspective. And there's another trail here that's a bit longer, not as big a jumps, but some quite nice corners and stuff. I'll take you down that. I'll let you know what I think at the end of the ride to what the bike's like now. Let's hit some jumps, third person. Let's go. Second time was a bit better. This step down is unreal, to be fair. It's sort of hard to judge your speed on that step down. Like, I clear it no problem, but there's a little roller in between. I have to really pump, and even then the speed's not quite there. I'm so glad it's bone dry, because if it was even the slightest bit wet, I think it would be out of the question. Doesn't help it's so overgrown, but I'm clearing the lines, so it gives you a little perspective on how the bike's doing with the new Yaris. So we're at the step up that I was doing last on the line there. We'll talk a bit about how the bike feels, and probably it's worth upgrading your suspension on, I would say not an entry-level hardtail, but maybe a mid-spec hardtail. Is it worth it? So these Yaris are sort of a mid-spec fork, and with 160mm travel in these 35mm stanchions, feels absolutely unreal. As you can see, I haven't quite used out the full 160, probably 150 of it now, but the difference in the stiffness when I'm riding the jumps is absolutely night and day. But all in all, I think 100% if you're considering it and you have sort of your 32mm stanchions that come with your entry-level hardtail forks, it's absolutely night and day with these. It feels like a bigger bike, it feels more plush, it feels more stiff. And in all fairness, it's given me the confidence to ride something like this that, in all honesty, I didn't have with my Recon Silvers. So after all that, after you've seen this little jump line I was talking about, absolutely amazing by the way, I can't believe that I found it in these woods about 10 kilometers from my house. There's a little trail that goes from the top here. I'm going to take you to the top of that. I'll do a POV of riding the bike down that. A couple nice corners, couple of jumps you can see. I'll give it a little commentary and I'll tell you how the fork's feeling, and then I think we'll do this line POV one more time, and then I'm happy. I've tested the forks and I've told you my opinion. So let's get to the top of this trail I'm talking about and I'll take you down it, see what I think. So riding up it now, we have things like this little feature here, which is probably a 2 or 3 meter gap jump across another trail. It looks like it's being raked out because some of these jumps like this one, even though they seem overgrown, oh, nearly died, are actually running quite nice. Although it's dry and there's a lot of dust, I think this will be running spot on. A little drink and straight in. Right, let's see what we got this time. Shift up a couple of gears, a little double, little berm table, not going to forget about that. There we go. Gap jump into another line of doubles. What I got out this time. Yay! Finally, some speed for the step up. So basically that line ends with this step up here. Instead of coming around the berms like I did with the jump track, you jump straight over the berms from them doubles and come straight into this, which I have loads more speed, feels loads better. I'm gonna give it another run probably, see if I can get a bit faster, see what the flow's like. Round two. Can't get these gears right. Double. Berm, table into another berm. Got that better this time. Manual. Get around here. Double. Little creek gap. Couple of overgrown doubles here. Oh, I got that this time as well. Straight, step down. Yo! Oh, loads better. Honestly, this thing now with these Yaris is absolutely unreal for trails like that. The corners, the jumps, it's so plush. You can unweight the back end. In all fairness, loads more fun than my full suspension. You get a lot more out of them, and the fun scale is on another level. Cannot say enough good things about it. So coming in, if you can see right over there, that trail I did carries on straight. Felt like I got this step up loads better coming in from that other trail rather than the jump trail. So put the camera down, get another clip before we ride the jump one for the last time. Worth a look, see if I can get any further or higher, I suppose. Let's give it a go. So much better and so much more speed coming into that. Happy with that. Let's ride the jump line once more, POV. Right then, jump line. Let's see if we can get this better than the first time. Fairly strong running. First jump, a little speed check. Second with a roller. In fast. Fast, fast. Oh my God, I shrelt that. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Happy with that. Here we are. The Merida Big Trail 500 with the Yaris. Definitely impressed with the bike today. I'm so glad I've come out. I'm so glad I've tested it on the jumps and that little trail there, ready for the bigger days when I go out for half a day instead of a few hours. Absolutely over the moon with the bike. The forks make it. I don't need to say any more about the forks because I'm chuffed. So I hope you enjoyed coming along them couple of trails with me. Hope you got a good angle on the sort of things that I like to do, I suppose, in the week, especially on a beautiful summer evening like this here in the UK. If you're thinking about changing the forks on your entry-level hardtail, dare I say mid-spec maybe, then definitely get some mid-spec forks. And upgrading 10 or 20 mil with the travel, definitely worth it as well. Thanks for hanging around with me today. It's been a pleasure as always, and I'll catch you all in the next one.